Welcome everyone, wherever you are in the world. I'm recording this in Brisbane, Australia, and I pay my respects to the traditional owners of this land, the Yuggera people, the elders past, present and emerging. My name is Sarah Chaudhary and I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Queensland. This presentation is about the participatory action research I've been conducting since 2017. As a researcher, I've embedded with a small team of professionals called Water by Design, who are responsible for building capacity within the state of Queensland so we can transition to a system of sustainable urban water management. Queensland is a northern state of Australia and has the fastest growing population and the fastest growing cities in the country. 90% of people live in the cities along the coast, and since 2001, 4 Queensland cities have doubled in size. This analysis focuses on the management of urban water, especially as it affects waterways flowing to marine environments. So there are 2 management regions: the Great Barrier Reef, which is spatially very large with a small population, and Southeast Queensland, down in the corner, which has got the fastest growing and most densely populated cities. So the problem I'm talking about is caused by rapid urbanisation, which increases pollutant loads and changes stream hydrology, impacting both ecosystems and livability within urban environments and downstream. Regional coordination of urban planning by state government, local government and industry is so important, yet it's not streamlined and we're not seeing good outcomes on the ground. To improve this situation, Water by Design was established back in 2005 to provide education and capacity building services to increase the adoption of water-sensitive urban design and erosion and sediment control. These are considered to be best management practices for the delivery of the sustainable urban water management paradigm. The aim of my research is to better understand how Water by Design facilitates collaboration between actors from across large areas, diverse jurisdictions, and multiple disciplines to enhance social and ecological interactions. Water governance theory highlights the need for multi-level, cross-scale interactions to drive transformation of systems towards desired change. The micro level, or the innovation and learning platforms, which I've circled in red, is where collaborations between many actors occur to influence change at those higher levels. Most of the literature and also the focus of Water by Design has been on influencing change at that landscape level of the governance and management system. But through this analysis, I'm hoping to bring the focus down to the level of social learning processes within the innovation and learning platforms and build on current understandings such as those pictured in the inset. Water by Design provides 4 main platforms of collaborative spaces. Technical workshops starting from the bottom include field days, training and demonstration sites. Community of practice workshops involve discussion between stakeholders on progress towards their shared goals. The regional steering committees have been recently established to guide Water by Design in their strategic direction, and Water by Design embeds within local government to work on specific problems. I look deeper into how Water by Design provides these collaborative spaces, and I've identified an example of principles that are guiding the group and also challenges that they've encountered in practice. Adaptive management is something that is fully recognized by the group, but in practice there is a culture of project management which is very task focused, with very limited time or resources for reviewing and theorizing their capacity building activities for improvement. And this is mainly driven by organisational norms and the reporting requirements of their funding bodies. Water by Design develops relationships through these collaborative spaces, which serve different purposes with varying levels of participation to allow actors with different capacities to participate at an appropriate level. Starting at the bottom of the slide, the greatest number and diversity of actors participate at those technical workshops, which provide information but have opportunities for discussion. The community of practice workshops have fewer and more strategic actors from local government, utilities, and consultancies with a focus on that facilitated discussion. The steering committee has representation from the regional partnership members, and they're involved in the decision making around Water by Design. And Water by Design has partnerships with the local governments on those specific problems. So how does Water by Design foster these relationships? They try to create bridges between silos of different disciplines and organisations. But gaining access to professionals and taking them away from doing their job to come and talk about stuff is not always supported by management. The process of identifying these gatekeepers within organisations who are champions, building trust with them and supporting them to drive change from within, it really takes time and patience, which is not always budgeted for. So social learning is the collaborative development of knowledge, and transdisciplinary discussions involve the inclusion of many types of knowledge, including empirical, aesthetic, ethical, and reflective, and from across many different perspectives. The challenge to co-designing realistic solutions is that it's difficult to get the people most averse to change in the room. So there can be wonderful strategies produced by like-minded people who really want sustainable urban water management to work, but those plans won't get traction unless there is wider ownership. Water by Design has helped to deliver innovative solutions in the landscape, within institutions, and through enhancing learning opportunities. In the landscape, they've worked with a collective of local governments to establish street tree pits designed to passively receive stormwater in A and B, pictured there. They've worked with a number of local governments to run co-design processes with community to restore their local waterways, pictured in C. They've helped local governments to establish working groups that link people from all relevant sections to meet on a regular and ongoing basis to discuss issues such as erosion and sediment control. And they've established the first urban high-efficiency sediment basin in the Great Barrier Reef region to demonstrate that they're not just southern technology that will never work in the north. They really do work, and here is how. So how is innovation fostered? The key really does lie in the collaborative approach. For example, in the Street Trees project, this involves securing funding from a number of local governments and using that to leverage more funding from the state government. This allowed each of the local governments to have more resources than they would have to collect data in a consistent way that could be used to develop a regional database. But the challenge in this type of collaboration in the past has been that there is a culture that is very risk averse to sharing any information that may be seen as negative. So they're disinclined to collect data, let alone share it. The aim of my research was to understand how Water by Design facilitates complex collaborations to enhance social ecological interactions. And I found that preparation is the key to making the most of these collaborations to generate system change. Through this analysis, I've abductively drawn from the literature and my empirical findings to develop this conceptual framework of the innovation and learning platforms and the processes within them. There are 4 learning processes that should be strengthened before trying to influence change at the higher levels. Number one is organizational support, which provides those collaborative spaces. Then relational processes, which build and strengthen relationships. Reflexive processes, which can co-produce knowledge. And experimentation, which can lead to innovation that is widely adopted. And this may cause the tipping point towards the system change which is so desired. The biggest challenge in making complex collaborations work, I've found, is this focus on producing innovation without first building and strengthening those foundational processes. Also, a focus on the planning and doing part of adaptive management without the time for review. I hope that this analysis may help to make the theory of transformative governance more usable and accessible to professionals who are attempting to drive change in practice. Thank you for your attention. My name again is Sarah Chaudhary, and I look forward to discussions at the question and answer session. Bye.